Oh yes, we are doing it again. Over here we have the magnificent instant mashed potatoes out again, mushrooms, and a can of tuna. Heating up the water right now, and we're going to mix the mash with the can of potatoes, and then I think I found salt in the upper bag up there with some pepper, and we're going to see what happens. The Travel America. Oh, man, the glare. Look at how crappy this camera lens is. My bad, it was just the grease on the lens from the greasy trucker. Got my basketball shorts on, no worries. Freaking my cozy socks. Filthy freaking compression socks are hanging from the steering wheel of my shirt. We are on day 14 plus, and I am out of clothes. So that is the clothes I wore yesterday. The shirt I wore yesterday. The socks are new today, this morning. Well, the pants I don't really care about. The underwear I do care about. I got 2 more pairs of fresh underwear. I was supposed to be home. Not happening. I talked to another Schneider driver today. He said, if you don't put in your request to go home, you don't go home. I said, wow, that's funny that nobody mentions that part to me, that there's like a request form. You have to actually formally request to go home and have days off. So apparently I haven't been asking. I thought it was just given that I do 2 weeks on and 3 days off. And yeah, so I guess not. I guess you do forever on until you go and beg to have a day off from your little rolling prison. That's what I call this thing, the rolling prison. Look at this. I ripped off some pimples last night in the shower at the Pilot. Yep, doing good. I actually trimmed the hair too in the bathroom. Next time we'll get a little. I bet you all want to see what the bathrooms look like. You're thinking they're absolutely disgusting. The truth is, Love's Truck Stop, the bathrooms are better than better than like a 5-star hotel freaking shower and bathroom. Like you can the shower. I'll just show you next video. You'll be shocked. But yeah, some of the older truck stops, the showers are absolutely disgusting. It's just like a prison shower. But we're getting close here. So yes, not gonna probably take a shower tonight because I don't have any credits for the TA. Look how far up I have to walk. This is a huge truck parking lot here outside of Dallas on I-20, about 20 miles outside of Dallas to the east, heading to Shreveport. What else is going on? I got a load that took 3 hours to load while I sat in the truck today. I got my Sterilite. You know, Walmart. It's going to Walmart. Well, the Walmart distribution center. Sterilite, the Tupperware, like the like Rubbermaid, the big storage containers that are clear. They're packed up to the back door and to the top of the trailer. There is 40-mile-an-hour winds today, and this is the first time I've driven in that, and they are coming straight up from the south, and I'm going east, and they are broadsiding the trailer. We're shaking right now, actually. I haven't experienced this since North Dakota. I just actually looked up when I stopped now what the tip point is for tractor trailers, since this is not in the training. I'm sure it's in the book, and they're gonna say, yeah, you were told about that. Nah, I'm not told about that. But it says you guys should definitely slow down around 40 miles per hour. I mean, if the wind's 40 miles per hour, you should slow your truck down, which it is. And I did slow down to 5 miles per hour below the speed limit, which is 60. Speed limit 65. I was going 60. There was a lot of hills, so like when it was in a dip and the road was kind of heading a little bit north, you could go faster. But when you were due east and you were up on a hill here in flat, wide open Texas, it was scary. It pushed the truck over about 2 feet. It was not. Let me put it this way: there was 3 lanes on the interstate on I-20, all going eastbound. I'm in the slow lane. There was times where it was pushing me over 2 feet. Not into the other lane, but making the trailer do this crazy crap. And I noticed that the traffic, they did not pass me. They actually had a line of cars about 100, 200 feet back, and they were just that line of cars, 3 cars, were holding back about 100 cars because they didn't want to pass me because it was swaying that bad. So that's how I knew it was bad winds, because I said, all right, now I know it's bad because people are refusing to even drive around me. And then when they finally made the attempt, they shot out at like 90 miles an hour and they went into the fast lane and went around me. Almost all of them, except like the macho truck drivers that were like, you know, in their pickup trucks and stuff. But yeah, that's interesting. This is the first day of heavy wind driving, so I guess you gotta get used to it and just know your limits. I guess the trailer would actually be better if it was like 40,000 pounds. It's only because the Sterolites take up so much room, there's only 12,000 pounds. They're light. So that's affecting it. It's just like a big empty box back there waiting to be blown over by the wind. But looks like our mash is done over. Water, I mean. The hot water is done, and we're going to use a coffee cup to mix. Well, no, we're going to put it in here. Yeah, all right. I'm going to have to turn this camera on and off a few times. All right, so I opened everything up. We will not be buying this mashed potato stuff again because it is a disaster. It's just, now it's everywhere, all over me. All I did was take off the duct tape that was sealing everything in, and it just, when I popped that up, it just went everywhere. So let's see what happens here. That looks like a mega serving of mashed potatoes right there. I want to first mix in I was going to dump the mushroom water out the door, but I think we were going to save the mushroom water and actually mix it right in with everything. So I don't know what's going to happen. This is cold. This was in the refrigerator. This is cold, and that's hot, and I don't know if it's enough to make. I don't know if you can even mix the instant ones up with cold. Well, oh man, that's a lot of them. I do like mushrooms. Very, very tasty. I wonder how much salt is in this. Oh man, there's a lot of salt. 200 milligrams, 240. Oh, not bad. 600, 3 servings. 600 milligrams of salt. It's like 1/8 of a can of Campbell's soup. Okay, so it is. So the mashed potatoes are wet, but they're not doing their job. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to heat it up. Should have dumped that mushroom water out the damn door. People always think you're dumping your piss jug out the door whenever you dump anything out the door. So, at least that's my thought. I think they think that. I guess if I held the can out, like showed that I was opening it and pouring it, then they'd be like, all right, he's not dumping his piss jug out the door. He's just dumping some water, some mushroom water. So I don't know what the hell. I think it's already got too much water in there. This is a situation. We might not even get to the Starkist. We might have to add more. This is a problem. Well, the other time we did this, it freaking took so much water just to get the. That was in a cup and much easier to. No. The problems are. I didn't wash my hands. All right. My hands are disgusting. So I met another Schneider driver during my 3-hour live load today at the Sterilite facility. He was sitting there. He's the one that advised me it was going to take like 3 hours, and said he was already sitting there 2 hours and 45 minutes when I arrived. So he told me some secrets about cleaning off the forward-facing rangefinder and the side one that scans if you can move over to the right safely or not. It makes a buzzing sound. Tells you if there's a car there or not. So you got to wipe them off, otherwise they act up. They do act up. Anti-lock braking system on this truck. The light's on for that as well. Everything seems to act up when it's below 30 degrees out. Let's keep going here. Let's keep going. If we need more mash, we'll add more mash. I kind of want more mash. I feel like there's not enough mash to mushroom ratio going on here. It is mixing slowly. I'm not in a rush. There's going to be a problem tomorrow. Oh, I already got yelled at a couple times today. So apparently Schneider does a 2 week or 1 month, 2 week in review of how you're doing driving the truck. And since I refused to call the number and was now forced today to call the number, they did like a 1 month review on me. And they were like, you almost tipped the truck twice. which I really didn't. The alarm went off, but it was only because of me going down a left turn ramp. I think that said 45, and I was doing 45, but it was at night, and I felt kind of, whenever you're driving these big trucks at night, it feels like you're doing 100 miles an hour when you're really not. But the sense is there. So I stepped on the brake, which I guess shifted the sensor, triggered it. And so they forgave me about that one. They said I had driven over my 14-hour clock twice. I'm familiar with that. The first one was basically not my fault because I was in downtown Nashville, and the interstate stopped right in the middle of downtown Nashville, right dead on the interstate for 2 hours, and I ran out of time. And then they decided to kick everybody off the interstate right then and there. I guess somebody died on the interstate, so the state police said, everybody off the interstate, and down onto the streets of Nashville I went, almost pissing my pants and crying, because I did not want to go drive around on the streets of Nashville with no knowledge of the situation, which was, that's a whole story in itself. That was a nightmare. So that was my 14-hour violation. That was real. The second one was fake. The second one was the garage. They worked on my truck from 11 p.m. till like midnight or something, and they moved the truck, and the things, my digital supervisor over there said that I was in motion when I was supposed to be napping. My prison mate over there, my prison warden. So, yep, that one was a false call. But otherwise, they said, yeah, you're doing all right. I forgot to do some paperwork or something too, but it's not really paperwork. It's electronic paperwork there. So they said that was corrected though earlier on. Yep, so this doesn't look bad. Let's taste it without any salt well, the mushrooms had salt, so there is, I don't even know if sodium is salt, whatever. It's chemical salt or something they put in these cans these days. Texture, questionable. Almost seems like a pudding type situation. Let's go with the taste here. And it is time for a delicious taste. Yeah. Cold, but not as bland as the first time. The first time there was like no salt or anything in it. It just tasted like watered mush. This time it has like that salt in there, so it's better. Mushrooms are good. Guess I could use a little bit of pepper. That's about it. So I'm gonna eat that. Probably go into the Travel America shop and see what's going on in there. Just to go outside and walk, because this job is me getting up at 4:30 in the morning because I had only 5 hours of work yesterday, because there was a huge load problem with General Mills. They told me I couldn't pick up the trailer, and it went back and forth for hours until finally I just had to leave. And when I left, I couldn't slide my tandems on the trailer because it's so rusted and shot that they wouldn't move. So I had to then get another trailer, and I lost half a day of driving, but I was on duty, so I did get my $10 an hour. So I tried to make it up today, got up 4:30 as usual, and just drove. But then when I got to the live load, it was like 3-hour wait. And then by the time I got up to Dallas to get on I-20, Dallas was dead stopped because it was commuter time at 4:30 p.m. So once I got through that, I just pulled over here. There was only an hour left on my 14-hour clock anyway. And then tomorrow, that's right, I'm going to get in trouble tomorrow because I only have 5 hours left on my 70-hour clock, and my load is due in LaGrange, Georgia, south of Atlanta. Not tomorrow, but the next day. No, I think it is tomorrow it's due, but I'm not going to be available till the next day because I have to have a 34-hour reset. So I texted the supervisor, who was not in. So I'm sure he'll be happy to get that message at 8 o'clock in the morning when he gets in, after I've been driving for 5:30. Well, if I don't start driving till 5. So I'll already have 2 hours. So with 5 hours left, so I'll have 3 hours left for him to figure out what's going to happen with the load tomorrow, because it ain't going to make it on time to the Walmart Mega Distribution Center. Enjoy the rest of your night, people. Eat something tasty.